You know, James, I see that as being the biggest hurdle here for the state. The idea, and this is something that the defense is going to harp on, the idea that Daunte Wright brought this all upon himself. The idea that had he not resisted arrest, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. But I don't think the inquiry stops there. I think that's the easiest way to look at this. Tell me how the state's going to approach that problem in front of this jury.
Well, again, when someone is not complying with the police, that does not mean that the police can jump to deadly force. That doesn't even mean that the police can jump to use force that's going to create an unreasonable risk of harm. And what's interesting in this case, although Officer Potter was yelling "taser, taser, taser," what is the use of firing a taser into someone's chest, which is a highly dangerous place to use a taser, by the way. I mean, you could cause heart problems. Someone who's behind the wheel, Daunte Wright kept driving after this, right? So if he had been tased, you could have had a similar situation where you're placing other lives in danger. So I think the state has to really focus on the unreasonable risk of harm that was created by Kim Potter's reaction to a situation where if they had just backed up, gained control of the situation, ordered commands. And look, if he drives away, they have his license, they know where he lives. This is not someone who is in the middle of a violent crime or some adverse circumstances. Why are you risking killing innocent people who could be in the way of a vehicle? He crashed into a vehicle having been shot with a gun. When you're really looking at manslaughter, you don't have to prove the intent to kill. You just have to prove that she was reckless or culpably negligent. And in that standard, when you given that standard and looking at the totality of the circumstances, it could be perceived that her conduct was unreasonable no matter what she had done that day in terms of using force immediately in that situation in terms of a taser or a gun.